Thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement. It is my pleasure to welcome His Excellency Mr. Santokhi, President of Suriname. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, distinguished Chair, members of the head table, leaders of the world, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year passed since COP26. Today, we are all more aware that concrete actions are needed now. Instead of more pledges, talks, and promises for the future. We are living the horrors of climate change, and yet we see no significant actions to live up to the Paris Agreement. Mr. Chair, I'm standing here as president of a small nation, but also as a representative of a very small group of countries, a group of only 3 countries in the world that are still carbon negative. My country, Suriname, is also part of a larger grouping of 11 high forest and low deforestation countries and part of the Amazon forest. Our nation is also part of the grouping of 51 small island developing and low-lying coastal states. Suriname's contribution to global emission is 0.01%, and we are net carbon sink. We are in fact carbon negative. Mr. Chair, despite this, we are highly vulnerable to climate impacts. My country has a low-lying vulnerable coast that is threatened due to the sea level rise, and has taken bold decisions to prepare itself. We have created a strong institutional and policy framework with a national climate change policy, strategy and action plan, a national adaptation plan, and sectoral policies that give high priority to climate objectives. With assistance from the IDB, we have transformed our NDC into investment plan with an estimated $700 million in climate change investments. Mr. Chair, Suriname is ready for a full implementation of its NDCs to deliver the results we promise and to protect ourselves from the ravages of sea level rise. Suriname has committed to protect our mangrove forests from our limited state budget. Next year, Mr. Chair, we'll sign our first national climate agreement that will show our strong commitment to maintain our forests, to prioritize clean energy, and to promote the integration of climate mitigation and adaptations actions. We are building our national technical capacity and expertise with support of international organizations to be effective in preparation, design, and implementation. Mr. Chair, our energy supply is already for 50% renewable, and we are adding more. Mr. Chair, in the wider Caribbean, many of us almost daily have to address climate change occurrences through external borrowing because we lack the resources. That's why we need support now to include loss and damage as a third pillar in the climate financing structure. Once these funds become available, we also need to simplify the procedures for access to climate finance and to make appreciable condition period more efficient and effective. We cannot wait years to receive climate finance. Let us make it simple, accessible, and make it work. Mr. Chair, let us not create another international bureaucracy. The Bretton Woods Institutes should incorporate climate change in their economic recovery programs in a more effective way. Climate change has become part of the economic paradigm. We call upon the international community to put its money where its mouth is. Mr. Chair, the international community has promised billions, but thus far too little has materialized. Ladies and gentlemen, promises made must be kept. Therefore, on behalf of our children and the next generation, we urgently call on the historic emitters to do more and to help to save our world. My country is doing its part in this regard with the limited resources and capacity. Mr. Chair, I thank you. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement. It's my pleasure to welcome His Excellency